Hello everybody, in this video we're going to go over the Book B, Unit 9 Vocabulary Words, numbers 1 through 30. Let's get started!
Our first word is calm. Calm is an adjective, and we use this word to talk about something that is not moving or something that is still. For example, the wind is calm today. If you look at this picture, the water in the picture is not moving at all, so we can say the water is calm, or the lake is calm to talk about that the water is not moving. Our next word is cheer. Cheer is a verb and it means to shout in order to show that you like something. They cheered the team. When someone cheers, they are trying to show what they like. Maybe they're watching a sports game, so this person cheered for the team. When someone cheers, maybe they're saying things like, good job, or you can do it, things like that. Here, these people are also cheering for something. Maybe they're also watching a sports game or something else. So they can cheer for the team that they like. Our next word is crawl. Crawl is a verb and it means to move along the ground on the hands and knees. For example, the baby crawled to his mother. Of course, we know that babies crawl on their hands and knees, but you can also crawl. Maybe if there's a fire, you can crawl on the ground to escape the building. Or if you're playing a game with your friends, you can crawl on the floor and pretend to be an animal. Our next word is dawn. Dawn is a noun and it is the first light of day that appears in the morning. For example, he woke up at dawn. Dawn is the time of the morning when the sun is coming up, and this time changes throughout the year. And the opposite of dawn is dusk. So dawn is when the sun is coming up, and dusk is when the sun is going down. Our next word is during. And during is all through a certain period of time. For example, my daughter goes to camp during the summer. In this sentence, during the summer is the time that someone is doing something. It's the time that she goes to camp. So this word during is used to talk about the time. In this picture here, maybe we can say during an earthquake, you should hide under a table. Or during class, you should study or you should work hard during class. Our next word is entire. Entire is an adjective and it means having all the parts, whole. For example, we need the entire set of tools to do the job right. Or she ate the entire cake by herself. And the synonym for entire is complete, or we can say everything. So in this picture here, we can say the man will eat the entire cake. He will eat it all. Or he ate the hamburger. So he's eating it all. He ate the entire hamburger in one bite. Our next word is excitement. Excitement is the noun form of the word excited. And we use this when you are full of joy or very happy. When we use this word, most of the time we use it like this, filled with excitement. So our sentences will say that someone or something is filled with excitement. Just like this sentence, she was filled with excitement when she heard the good news. Or the children were full of excitement when they heard that there was no test today. Or the people were full with excitement when they got on the roller coaster. Anything that makes you full of joy or happiness, you can use this word excitement to describe it, but you should always say full of and then excitement together. Or we can say filled with excitement. Either way is fine, but make sure you have who is full of excitement and then why. Why are they full of excitement? Our next word is fair. Fair is an adjective and it means giving equal treatment. For example, Mrs. Jones tries to be fair to each of her children. She tries to do the same for each child or give the same things to each child. If you look at this picture, this boy has a little cookie, a little piece of the cookie, and this girl has a large part of the cookie. And the boy is saying it's not fair. It's not fair because it's not equal. It's not the same. When something is not the same, we can say it is not fair. Our next word is field. Field is a noun and it is a wide area of open land. This is similar to a meadow. Let's look at the example. That field is planted with wheat. In this picture too, you can see the field and there's some plants in the field. So in this one, we can say the field is planted with rice. Or we can say the cows are walking around the field. Here in this picture too, you can see a cow or an ox walking on the field. So this word, again, is very similar to the word meadow, and a lot of times we use field to talk about the land where farmers are planting something. Our next word is follow. Follow is a verb and it means to come or go after or behind. He followed me down the street. And in this picture we can say the babies are following their mom, or the children are following their teacher. When we use the word follow, many times we will use it with ing to say someone is following, or we say just followed, the past tense, to say that someone already followed. Our next word is harm. Harm is a noun and it means hurt or injury. For example, no harm came to the lost child. If a child got lost, many people would think that that child would get hurt or that some harm would happen to that child. But in this sentence, it says no harm came to the child, so it means they are not hurt. And if you look over here, there is some water on the floor, which means it can be slippery and someone can fall down like this. So we can say the water on the floor can cause harm to people. It can make them hurt, or it can make them get an injury. Or if you pick up a heavy box, it can harm your back. Maybe it can hurt your back. It can give you some hurt or give you an injury. Anything that can make you hurt can harm you. It can cause harm. Can you think of any other things that can cause harm to people if we're not careful? Our next word is headache. Headache is a noun and it means a pain in the head. I get a headache if I watch too much TV. What are some things that give you a headache if you do too much of it? Maybe if you study too much, you can get a headache. Our next word is hurt. Hurt is a verb and it means to cause pain or harm to. For example, Joe hurt his arm and cannot use it. Or the mean girl hurt my feelings. Remember, we had the word harm before. So harm and hurt are a little bit different. Harm is a noun and hurt is a verb. Hurt is the actual action of getting hurt. Something got hurt. For example, I hurt my toe, or the boy hurt his knee. But we use the word harm to talk about something that can cause your hurt. So something can cause you harm, like a rock on the floor can cause you harm, or water on the floor can cause you harm. Our next word is luckily. Luckily is an adverb, so we use it to talk about a verb, and it's when something happens in a good way or better than you thought that it would happen. For example, I lost my mom in the shopping mall, but luckily, a police officer helped me find her. Or, I couldn't swim, but luckily, the man tossed me a floaty. Or we can also call this a lifesaver. The man tossed me a lifesaver. Or another good idea can be like this. I woke up late, but luckily, there were no cars on the road. So it was better than you thought that it would happen. You thought that you woke up late and there would be many cars on the road, but there were not. That was very lucky. Our next word is pain. Pain is a noun and it is a bad or terrible feeling in your body that is usually caused by injury or illness. For example, I have a lot of pain in my back in the mornings. Many times when we use the word pain, we don't know what caused the pain. For example, I have pain in my stomach. I don't know why I have pain in my stomach, but it hurts. Or I have pain in my shoulder. The places where you have pain are the places that hurt. Remember, hurt is a verb, it's our action word, and pain is a noun. So, when we're using it in a sentence, you can actually use it together. You can say, I hurt my arm, and now I have pain. It's a bad feeling. Now I have a bad or terrible feeling because I hurt my arm.
Number 16 is rule.
Rule is a noun and it is something that tells people how they should act or behave. For example, I will play if you teach me the rules of the game, or he broke many of the school rules. Of course, in school there are many rules that we have to follow, such as keep your hands, feet, and other objects to yourself. And whenever we break the rules, there are some consequences. There are some bad things that can happen, like losing a point. Our next word is score. Score is a noun and it is the total points earned in a game or a test. For example, I got a perfect score on the spelling test. Whenever you take a test, the score will be on your paper. That is how many points you got. Or when we're playing a game, there are many teams and each team has a score. They have how many points. So this team here, their score is 3, and this team here, their score is 1. Our next word is shake. Shake is a verb and it means to move back and forth or up and down with small and quick motions. For example, you have to shake the bottle well before opening it. Or the ground always shakes when the big trucks go by. We also use this word shake to talk about when someone shakes their head. Here we can shake our head to say no, and of course we can also shake our head up and down when we want to say yes. Here, this girl is shaking her body or shaking her arms. Maybe she's telling you that you need to shake this bottle before you drink it. Our next word is shiver. Shiver is a verb and it means to shake because of cold or fear. For example, I began to shiver as soon as I stepped outside in the winter. The cold weather always makes me shiver. And remember, shiver can also be used to talk about fear. Maybe this man shivered when he thought about a ghost, or when he thought about a monster, he shivered because he is scared of them. Our next word is shout. Shout is a verb and it means to call out in a loud voice. For example, he shouted to his friend across the street. Of course, shout also means yell or even scream, and the opposite is to whisper. When do you have to shout? When you call for your mom, do you shout? Or if you see something scary, do you shout? Our next word is sometimes. Sometimes is an adverb and it means at times but not always. For example, I usually get up early, but sometimes I like to sleep late. And you can look over here to see how the words are different. Of course, never is just a zero, something that never happens. But we have other adverbs that we can use to talk about how much you do something. Do you do it always, 100% of the time? Or usually, that means almost always, but maybe not exactly always. Like here in the sentence, I usually, so almost always, I get up early. But sometimes is about this much, about half of the time. Then we can say sometimes. And the last one we have here is rarely. Rarely is like almost never. You almost never do something. So, what are some things that you do sometimes? About 50% of the time. Our next word is stick. Stick is a verb and it means to attach one thing to another with something sticky. So you are putting two things together with something sticky. For example, I stuck the two pieces of paper together with tape. Of course, when we want two things to come together, if it's paper, we use glue or maybe we use tape because they are sticky. And sticky things help us stick things together. Remember, stick is the action and sticky is the adjective. So we stick things together with glue or we stick things together with tape. What are some things that you can stick together using glue or tape? Our next word is teammate. Teammate is a noun and it is a member of the same team or group. My teammates agree that we need a new coach. Anytime that you are playing a game, the people that are on your same team are your teammates. Have you ever played in a game with other teammates? What did you do together? Our next word is thirsty. Thirsty is an adjective and it is a feeling a need to drink. After working hard in the garden, I was hot and thirsty. When are some times you feel thirsty? Do you feel thirsty after you run for a long time? Or do you feel thirsty after you talk for a long time? Our next word is through. Through is a preposition and it is in one side or end of something and out the other. You go in one side and you go out the other side. So here, this man, he is jumping through the rings. He is going in one side and he's going out the other side. That is through. Or this monster went through the wall. He was on one side of the wall and then he went through and came out the other side of the wall. Our next word is tire. Tire is a noun and it is a round rubber object that fits around a wheel. My car needs new tires. Of course, this is what a tire looks like. Can you think of any other vehicles other than a car that use tires? Our next word is treat. Treat is a verb, and it is a word used to talk about the way you act towards someone. For example, her father treats her as if she were a child. When you use this word, you are talking about how people are acting towards someone. So, we need some word to talk about treat. Does someone treat you well? Do they treat you badly? Do they treat you like a child? Do they treat you in a kind way? That means they are kind to you. Do they treat you gently? So they are very soft and kind. How does someone treat you or something? That's when you can use this word treat. For example, I can say, my mom treats me well because she helps me with my homework. Or, my friend treats me badly because he never shares anything with me. How do people treat you? Can you think about a sentence? Our next word is tremble. Tremble is a verb and it means to shake from fear, weakness, or cold. Kind of similar to shiver, but we use tremble many times for fear. So, let's look at the example. The little boy trembled when he heard the thunder. Or, I trembled in the icy wind. Both of them are okay. Again here, this animal, maybe it's a duck, he is trembling. He saw something scary, so he trembled. Or, I trembled in my bed because I was scared of the dark. What is something that makes you tremble, that makes you shake because you are scared or because you are cold? Our next word is tube. Tube is a noun and it is a small soft container that is closed at one end and has an opening at the other end. And you press on the tube to get things out of it. So this is what a tube looks like. Of course, it looks like there could be toothpaste inside, but this tube is not only for toothpaste. We can also put lotion and other makeup things inside of here as well, and of course medicine. So, can you make a sentence about a tube? Like this: I squeezed the toothpaste tube. Or, this tube of toothpaste is almost empty. And be careful because tube can also be used to talk about this. This is also called a tube. Our last word is usually. And we already talked about sometimes before, so this time we'll go over usually. Usually is an adverb and it's something that happens often. It happens many times. Not always. It doesn't happen always, but it happens many times. For example, he usually orders the steak, but he decided to try the salmon this time. So usually, most of the time, he orders the steak. What are some things that you usually do, that you do it almost all the time?
That's all for this video. We went over the Book B, Unit 9 vocabulary words, numbers 1 through 30. Thanks for listening. Bye!